One step, one performance, one moment changed entertainment forever. One idea transformed a simple amusement park into a place where stories could come to life. One video game became a worldwide phenomenon that crossed generations. One athlete became bigger than sports itself. One movie created a fandom unlike anything the world had ever seen. And one superhero team changed the way Hollywood builds movies forever. These aren't just movies, shows, songs, games, or events. These are the moments that change pop culture forever. Because sometimes a single moment doesn't just entertain people, sometimes it changes the way the entire world connects. Pop culture is everywhere. It's the movies we grew up watching, the TV shows we couldn't wait to see, the games that we would spend hours playing, and the entertainers and athletes that we looked up to. But every once in a while, something goes beyond being popular. Something becomes part of history. These are the moments that change the way we experience entertainment, the moments that created memories for millions and shaped generations. Today we're counting down 10 moments that changed pop culture forever. And trust me, some of these changed the world in ways nobody saw coming. In 1996, a simple idea from Japan would become one of the biggest entertainment franchises in human history. The idea was simple: explore a world, discover creatures, train them, and become the very best. But what made Pokemon so special wasn't just the game itself. Pokemon became much bigger. It was a shared experience. Kids weren't just playing Pokemon. They were trading cards, battling friends, watching the show, and collecting their favorite characters. For the first time, a video game character like Pikachu became recognizable even to people who had never touched a console. And that was the beginning of something very important. Video games were no longer just entertainment you played at home. They were worlds that people lived in. Decades later, Pokemon would prove that a franchise could bring millions of people together in the real world. Pokemon didn't just change gaming, it changed what a video game could become. But gaming wasn't the only place where entertainment was changing. The way we watched television was about to completely transform, and one comedy about an ordinary office will become one of the biggest shows of the internet era. When The Office premiered in 2005, nobody knew it would become one of the most beloved comedies of its generation. On paper, the concept was simple: a paper company, ordinary employees, everyday problems. But that simplicity was exactly what made it work. The Office proved that you didn't need explosions, superheroes, or fantasy worlds to create unforgettable characters. You just needed characters that people actually cared about. But the biggest impact of The Office came years after it ended. Through streaming, a new generation discovered the show and turned it into an internet phenomenon. Quotes became memes, scenes became viral clips, characters became part of everyday conversations. It became proof that a show could actually become bigger after its original run ended. The Office changed comedy. But more importantly, it changed how audiences connected with television. And while one show became a streaming legend, another show brought an entire generation back in time. In 2016, Netflix released a series that nobody expected to become a worldwide cultural event. Stranger Things felt like a love letter to the 1980s. But the reason why it connected with so many people is because nostalgia isn't always about just remembering the past. It's about experiencing something that feels timeless. The show introduced younger audiences to the style, music, and creativity of another era. Suddenly, 80s culture was everywhere again. Fashion, games, music, and movies all saw a renewed interest in that decade. Stranger Things also proved something huge about modern entertainment. A streaming show could become a global event. People weren't just watching it. They were talking about it, sharing it, and becoming part of the experience. But nostalgia doesn't only bring us back to the worlds we grew up watching. Sometimes it creates something even bigger. Sometimes one person becomes more than a star. They become a symbol that represents an entire generation. And in the 1990s, no athlete became a bigger symbol of greatness than Michael Jordan. Before Michael Jordan, athletes were famous, but Jordan became something much bigger than that. He became the global symbol of greatness. During the 1990s, Jordan became the face of the NBA and one of the most recognizable people on earth. but his impact went far beyond the basketball court. The partnership between Jordan and Nike created something completely new. Sneakers were no longer just something athletes wore. They became a part of fashion, identity, and culture. And for the first time, millions of people wanted to be connected to an athlete, even if they never played the sport. Jordan became a movie star, a marketing icon, and a worldwide brand. He showed the world that an athlete could influence entertainment, fashion, and business all at the same time. The athletes we see today building brands, launching businesses, and becoming global celebrities are following a blueprint Jordan helped create. Michael Jordan didn't just change basketball, he changed what it meant to be a superstar. But some of the biggest moments in pop culture didn't happen on a court or in a stadium. One man had an idea that would completely change the way people experience entertainment. Instead of just watching stories, people could step inside of them. In 1955, Walt Disney opened a place unlike anything the world had ever seen, a place called Disneyland. Before Disneyland, amusement parks were just collections of rides and attractions. But Walt Disney had a different vision. He wanted every single detail to tell a story. The music, the architecture, the characters, the attractions. Everything was designed to make guests feel like they were entering another world. Disneyland changed entertainment by creating immersion. It wasn't just something you watched, it was something you experienced. The theme park industry that exists today was built on what Disneyland introduced. The greatest theme parks in the world don't just give people rides, they create memories. Disneyland didn't just change amusement parks. It changed the relationship between audiences and stories. But while Disney changed where stories could take us, one movie changed what we believed what movies could show us. In 1993, Steven Spielberg introduced audiences to something they had never experienced before: dinosaurs that felt alive. But Jurassic Park wasn't just a movie about dinosaurs. It was a turning point in filmmaking. The movie combined groundbreaking computer-generated imagery with practical effects to create something audiences believed. The greatest special effects aren't the ones you notice, they're the ones that you believe. People weren't sitting in theaters thinking about technology. They were wondering how dinosaurs had returned. Jurassic Park had changed Hollywood's expectations. After this movie, filmmakers realized that imagination no longer had the same limits. If you could dream it, technology could help bring it to life. Jurassic Park didn't just create movie magic, it changed the future of cinema. But changing entertainment isn't only about what we see on screen. And sometimes, just one person could change what a performance can become. On March 25th, 1983, Michael Jackson stepped onto a stage and created one of the most iconic moments in entertainment history. During his performance of Billie Jean, the world saw the moonwalk. But the moonwalk became way more than just a dance move. It became a cultural phenomenon. Michael Jackson also changed the way the world viewed music videos. Thriller wasn't just a song with visuals, it was a movie experience. He proved that music videos could have storytelling, choreography, characters, and production on the level of Hollywood. His influence changed concerts forever. Today's massive performances with elaborate stages, choreography, and visuals all follow a path Michael helped create. He showed the world that an entertainer could become more than just a singer. They could become a global phenomenon. Michael Jackson didn't just make music. He created moments people would remember forever. But one of the biggest turning points in entertainment history didn't happen on a stage. It happened in a galaxy, far, far away. A movie that didn't just create fans. It created a culture. In 1977, audiences experienced something they had never seen before, a space adventure called Star Wars. At the time, nobody knew just how much this movie would change entertainment forever. Star Wars wasn't just a movie, it was a universe. And that idea changed everything. Before Star Wars, movies usually lived mostly inside theaters, but Star Wars expanded beyond the screen. It became merchandise, books, games, collectibles, entire generations of fans. And for the very first time, people weren't just watching a story, they were joining a world. Fans dressed as characters, collected memorabilia, and created communities around something they loved. Star Wars helped create the modern idea of fandom. The franchises that dominate entertainment today all owe something to the blueprint Star Wars created. It showed Hollywood that a story could become way bigger than just a movie. It could become a legacy. But decades later, Hollywood would attempt something that seemed impossible, bringing multiple heroes, multiple stories, and multiple movies together into one connected universe. And when it worked, entertainment would never be the same again. But before Marvel changed Hollywood, Marvel had already changed what a superhero could be. When Spider-Man first appeared in 1962, he was unlike any hero audiences had ever seen before. He wasn't a billionaire. He wasn't a god. He wasn't a perfect symbol who always had the answers. He was a teenager, trying to balance school, friendships, responsibilities, and the weight of becoming a hero. But the most powerful idea Spider-Man introduced was something that changed generations of fans. The person behind the mask mattered more than the mask itself. Spider-Man showed people that a hero didn't have to be someone born special. A hero could be anyone. That idea became one of the most important messages in superhero storytelling, because Spider-Man didn't just inspire people to look up at heroes. He inspired people to believe that they could become one. And decades later, Marvel would take that idea of connecting audiences with heroes and attempt something nobody had ever done before. In 2008, Marvel Studios took one of the biggest risks in Hollywood history. They bet everything on a character many people outside comic book fans didn't know well: Iron Man. At the time, Marvel wasn't the unstoppable entertainment machine that we know today. The studio was taking a huge chance, but Marvel had a plan: build individual stories that would eventually come together. Then in 2012, the Avengers changed everything. For the first time, audiences saw years of storytelling pay off in one massive cinematic event. People weren't just watching a movie, they were experiencing history. That idea continued to grow until Avengers Endgame became one of the biggest movies ever made. Marvel changed how studios thought about storytelling. Movies can now be chapters in a much larger universe. The success of Marvel influenced almost every major studio. It changed Hollywood's entire strategy. The Avengers didn't just assemble heroes, they assembled a new era of movies. But the biggest change in pop culture history wasn't created in Hollywood. It wasn't created by a studio, a director, or a celebrity. It was created by everyone. Because this final moment didn't just change on what we watch, it changed on who gets to be involved in the entertainment. The internet completely changed the way the world connects, and eventually it changed entertainment forever. Before the internet, becoming famous usually required approval from studios, television networks, record labels, or major companies. The gatekeepers controlled who got a platform. Then everything changed. Suddenly, anyone with a camera, an idea, and an internet connection could reach the world. A teenager making videos in their bedroom could build an audience larger than a traditional TV show. Gamers became entertainers. Ordinary people became celebrities overnight. Artists could build careers without traditional systems. The internet changed music. It changed movies. It changed sports. It changed gaming. It changed everything. But the biggest impact wasn't creating new celebrities. It changed the relationship between the creator and the audience. Fans were no longer just watching from a distance. They became part of the story. Communities were built around shared interests, shared memories, and shared experiences. And that's why the internet belongs at number one. Because every moment on this list became even bigger because of it. The internet didn't just change pop culture. It gave pop culture to the people. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these 10 moments do you think changed the world the most? Was it Michael Jackson changing entertainment, Disneyland changing experiences, Star Wars creating fandom, or the internet changing who gets to tell stories? Let me know your answer down in the comments because I want to hear your list. And if you think I missed one, which moment would you add? And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the moments that help create our culture, hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot, and it lets me keep making videos like this. And if you enjoy videos about stories, movies, games, and moments that define generations, subscribe. And I do appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out until the very end. I'm DCoupe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.